Now, polls in Germany have opened for voters to decide which party will run their next government. The snap election was called after Chancellor Olaf Scholz's three-party coalition collapsed in November. Well, let's cross live to Adam Parsons now, who can give us all the latest there in Berlin. So, polls open then, Adam?
Yes, they are. They are open now, running till later this afternoon in a really consequential election for the simple fact that Germany is the wealthiest, biggest economy in Europe, most populous country in European Union. And what happens here reverberates not just around Europe, but around the world. This is a G7 nation. And as you said, that rather precarious government led by Olaf Scholz collapsing in November because of the coalition that is almost inevitable in German politics. So poll stations are open now. And once again, the front runners, of course, within German politics are always the Social Democrats, as well as the CDU-CSU alliance, effectively a centre-left and centre-right, as well as the AfD, the party from more of the far right. And then behind them a series of smaller parties but who will all probably get somewhere between 5 and 8%. The Free Democrats, the Linke from the far left, for instance. Now, this has been an election which has been covered largely by sort of a number of themes. One of them is the economic performance of Germany, a country that has for so many years been an economic and industrial powerhouse of this continent. But in the past 12 months, the economy here has struggled, rather insipid performance, and in fact sort of economic output declining, while in Britain, France, Italy, the rest of Europe, these economies have actually grown a little. So that has certainly been in the minds of voters. So has been migration, a topic that has been prevalent in so many European elections in recent years. That has been talked about a lot. And of course, in recent times, we've had a series of attacks in Germany that have been perpetrated by people who were migrants into this country. And I think a third big factor in this election has been Ukraine. Germany is a huge funder of Ukraine. In fact, it's the second biggest behind the United States. But there's a commonly heard gripe here, which is that although Germans have spent a lot of money in supporting Ukraine, they haven't really had the credit they deserve. It's said, I think, of many countries in Europe, that Germany may spend the most, but France gets the most credit, even though its spending is a fraction of the Germans. So I think that question of whether Germany continues its funding of Ukraine, particularly obviously in the light of the comments of Donald Trump in recent times, is another factor in this election. So we will start get the exit polls late afternoon to the early evening here in Germany. Spoiler alert, almost certainly this result will not create a party that gets past 50% on its own. It's almost inconceivable. So this will be the precursor for days, if not weeks, of talks about the coalition government that will lead Germany into the future.
Adam, interesting stuff. Thanks very much indeed. And as Adam was saying, polls are now open. We will, of course, have full coverage of the results after they close at 5 o'clock this evening.